It was Thursday. Don't you love when you're just all you're doing every day is just getting after it, and then you look up and you're like, I don't even know what day it is. It's been a busy week. We've been working hard. There's a lot going on, and I'm fired up for where we are today. I really am. So, hey, let me tell you what we're gonna do tonight. My name, by the way, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Kyle Kimbro, and what we're gonna do for the first about 20 or 30 minutes is do some mindset type leadership training and have a little Q&A at the end. And then we're going to transition on the exact same link to an opportunity call. A lot of the team is scattered tonight. Sarah's doing home meetings. Jay's traveling. People are committed. And so I'm doing both calls tonight. And so we're going to transition off of the same call. So if you have anyone that is going to be on the opportunity call tonight, if you would please tell them we are going to start that sucker at 6:30 sharp. So please let them know that. But what I want to do is I want to go over some things that I've learned from John Maxwell in kind of a mindset training, and then I want to just talk and I want to ask questions and open it up. And so what I want to talk to you today about is players versus pretenders. Players versus pretenders. Very big difference, and we're going to unpack that here over the next few minutes. There are several points that I want to make. Actually, there's 8 points. And so, number one, here we go. Players have a servant's mindset, and pretenders have a selfish mindset. See, in this business, I was just talking to a friend of ours that owns a design company, a massive design company, and she's like, all this girl cares about is how much commission she gets off of each sale. And so I see her, she's trying to upsell over and over and over again to the point where she's losing the clients. All she cares about is herself. It's a very selfish mindset where all she's caring about is how much money can I make off this deal, not what serves my client best, right? And so we were talking through the process of how to have hard conversations, excuse me, and how to help her be better or let her go do her own thing, right? Because ultimately that hurts the business owner more so than the employee. That's a selfish mindset. Listen, players have servants mindset. If you're a player, if you're going to be big in this industry, if you're going to be big in LifeWave, you got to have a servant's mindset. This isn't about you. You can't care about your rank. You can't care about your title. You honestly, in a lot of ways, don't care about your income. You care about your team and what they're doing. Because the more you care about other people, what their rank is, what their title, and what their income is, the more your income is taken care of. So that's number one. Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. Einstein says that. Here's a question. How can you tell if you have a servant mindset? How can you tell? John Maxwell says the answer is this, by the way you react when you are treated like one. Oh, man. Maxwell. When you're treated like a servant, how do you respond? Players respond knowing that's the role they're called to. Pretenders respond in almost an arrogant, offended way, right? All right, number two, players are mission conscious versus pretenders. Pretenders are position conscious. Players will give up a position to achieve a mission. Pretenders will give up a mission to achieve a position. You know, I was fortunate enough to play football in college and I played at the Naval Academy and the one thing that I can tell you is that we were all players in this regard, meaning we were very mission focused, not position focused. I got recruited to play quarterback. I was a quarterback my entire life. I get up there the first day and the freshmen have to go around and introduce themselves and say, you know, what position you are. And I walked into the locker room that day and it said Kyle Kimbro, wide receiver. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to play quarterback here. This is why I came here. And I'm like, Kyle Kimbro, wide receiver? Like, I guess that's what I was, right? And that's what I was. I was more focused on the mission than my position, as was everyone. I come to find out there's about 14 quarterbacks that got recruited to play one position. They just recruited athletes and they moved us around wherever they wanted us. But we didn't care. And so what's so cool about this is when you get a team that's mission focused, that's not position focused, guys, you can do some really cool things. You can win some really big games. You can have some great seasons. We were phenomenal all 4 years, not because of me, but we were really, really good and we won a lot of games. We went to bowl games. If you're familiar with that, we were a really good team, but no one cared about their stats. No one cared about their position. No one cared about recognition. We were mission focused. We wanted to win. That was the ultimate goal, right? We just wanted to win. Success is three things. Number one, it's knowing my purpose in life. Number two, it's growing to my maximum potential. And then number three, it's sowing seeds that benefit others. See, the position does not make the leader makes the position. Are you with me? Players don't promote themselves. Players never promote themselves. You will never hear somebody that's a true player, meaning somebody that's truly winning in a certain area of their life. They will never promote themselves. They're usually the most humble. Pretenders will always tell you how great they are. They will always, in a very quote unquote humble way, have to tell you about all their accomplishments before they even really know your name and why you're having a conversation. Are you with me? We all have met these kind of people. We've all met them. All right? Be a player. Be a player. Don't be a pretender. Number three, players are job, career, business, vocation, whatever you want to throw in there, happy. They're happy with what they're doing. They love what they do and they do it well. That's a player. Pretenders are job, career, position, company hunters. They can't do it where they are and they think that they can do it somewhere else, right? That's a pretender. Players know where they're supposed to be. They're planted, they're rooted, and they get the job done. Number seven, players make hard choices. Pretenders make soft choices. Have you ever heard the saying, you make your choices and then your choices make you? Yeah, like you make them, period. Again, it's so funny. We were just with a good friend of ours that was here and we were showing her all around the town. We had like 3 days worth of work. We were trying to get done in one day, basically. And so we would stop and we'd eat. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, my trainer's gonna kill me." She's like, "I'm making the worst choices ever." And when I get home, he's gonna want me to do this whole, body test where it shows your body fat percentage and then your muscle percentage. And I'm gonna go backwards and he's gonna kill me, right? You make your choices and then your choices make you. That's a fact in life. Whenever you come to a fork in the road, Yogi Bear says, take it. You know who Yogi Bear is? Anybody? He's the guy that says it's not over until it's over. Or you should get cash. It's the same as money. Like he makes the most obvious statements ever. He says, you come to a fork in a road, take it. Listen, the problem with soft choices is this. We all have the power of a choice, but once used, our choice has the power over us. I already talked to you about that. So whenever you see somebody that is successful, they have a successful business, maybe they have a successful marriage, a family, maybe literally the fitness that you want. It could be anything. Whenever you see somebody like that, understand that that only came because they made a courageous decision. And then they made another courageous decision, and then another courageous decision. Every single day, the decisions that you make are shaping who you are and are shaping your future, period. The easiest way, listen to me, the easiest way to tell the future of somebody is to understand their daily habits and rituals. If you show me what you do on a daily basis, I will show you where you will be in a year and 5 years from now. It's the easiest thing that you can ever predict on somebody because the choices you make you. Are you somebody that sleeps late, that eats unhealthy, that doesn't work out, that goes to work but doesn't really care, that comes home and binge watches Netflix? I can show you where you're going to be in 5 years, right? You're probably not going to have the financial freedom you want. You're probably not going to have the relational health with your family and your spouse that you want. You're probably not going to have the physical health that you want. Like it's very simple, but the thing that we have to understand is that the simple things to do are the simple things not to do. The simplest things in life are what we choose often not to do. Okay, number eight, you ready? Players finish out, pretenders fade out. Some people start as players. Now, this is what's crucial. Some people will start as players. Then, after a few years of success, a few months of success, however long you want to put in there, they begin to go through the motions and they become a pretender. Do you know the greatest enemy of success? Success. It's the greatest enemy. Why can there never be a professional team or a college team or a high school team for that matter that's really good and wins a championship? Why can they not repeat back to back to back to back? Why can they not win multiple championships? Because the greatest enemy of success is success. Because once you have success, the hardest thing to do is to force yourself to do the things that gave you the success that you have. You start to get, all of us do it. I'm the most guilty one on this call. All of us start to get a little soft. And we start to relish in our success. And we stop doing the things and making the choices and doing the hard things that gave us the success. And therefore we look up and all of a sudden we find ourselves with less success, right? Then we have to go back. We have to put in the work again. We have to do it again. And we have to create more success. Guys, the travesty, I think, a lot of times in this business is when I see people do it 3 out of 4 weeks. Because you work really hard 3 out of 4 weeks, you take off a week, and then you think that you can go right back to it and you pick up where you left off, but really you're starting back at the beginning. And then you do that, 2.5, 3 weeks the next month, and you take off a week, week and a half, and then all of a sudden you start again. It's the consistency, it's the compounding effect that you're not putting into play that you don't understand what you're capable of if you just actually consistently did it on a weekly basis. It's the things that you don't want to do often that gives you the life that you want. I tell people all the time that I think if you do the hard things in life, life's pretty easy. And if you do the easy things in life, life's pretty hard. Like it's pretty hard to be disciplined. Wake up, go work out, eat healthy, right? Have a great loving relationship with your spouse, with your family, get in the word, spend time with the Lord, work your business. It's kind of hard to be disciplined to do that. But if you do that, you have a real easy life. Finances come easier, relational comes easier, like spiritually, everything, right? It's all easier. If you choose the easy path, though, if you kind of like I already talked about, guys, life's hard. Life's hard. And here's what people I think maybe don't understand is you don't have to choose hard forever. You don't. You don't. You can choose hard for a period of time to get you where you want to be, and then you can slowly start backing off and you can still maintain what you have. It's like the train. You've heard this example 1,000 times, but if you had a train on a track and it was in a dead stop, I could take literally my mouse almost like the size of a nothing of a 2x4 and put it underneath the wheel and it could never start, right? But again, when that train's fully going, you can't take 5 feet of concrete steel and reinforced steel and concrete walls and stop it. That's kind of how it is. And so the energy it takes to get something going is so much greater than the energy that it actually takes to keep it going. The hardest part is actually going to the gym. It's actually starting the eating plan, right? It's actually starting this business. The easiest part is actually keeping it going once you start. I promise you. I promise you. Now, what you'll find is if you do actually get started and you do actually start working and have some success in this business, the tendency would be to almost, whew, I can breathe a little bit, like I'm having some success. Maybe I don't need to get on this call. Maybe I don't need to invite people here. Maybe I don't need to do this meeting. That's when you start to actually see your business start to slow down. John Maxwell talks also a lot about how when you're in growth mode, which we're all in growth mode right now, like you can't take, that's not when you take vacations. You take vacations when things are really slow. You take vacations when things are down, right? You're like, okay, I need a week. I'm going to go reset. You don't take vacations when things are growing. Guys, Life is exploding right now, right? This company's exploding. Now is not the time for you to decide to just take off 50% of the time. This business, again, let me explain to you how I view this business and you'll understand like why I'm so committed to doing the hard things. Because I believe whatever you can have in a career over, say you work 50 years. Most people graduate roughly when they're 20-ish, high school or college. They work till they're 70-ish in today's world. That's 50 years. In 5 decades of a 9 to 5 of going to work, coming home, 5 decades you can do here in this business the same amount of income, the same amount of joy, satisfaction, also heartache, right? The same amount of everything in 5 years. What you normally do in 50, you can do in 5 in this business. But with that comes an exaggerated and accentuated an upper level of commitment and discipline. And that's what I see here, right? And so I see a way that we can go really work hard for a few years to have a few decades of benefit. Does that make sense? That's what we're doing here. Now, sometimes it takes 3 years before you finally have the breakthrough. Sometimes it takes 5 years before you have the breakthrough. Sometimes you find the breakthrough in 6 months. It's different for everybody. It's God's plan. It's not our plan. We're supposed to sow. We're supposed to water. He creates the harvest, right? So all we're supposed to be is good sowers every single day, and He takes care of the harvest in due time when it's appropriate for you. I know for myself, if I would have made a substantial amount of money in my early 20s, I probably would have lost it all. I wasn't prepared for it. I wasn't ready for it, right? I needed maturity in my life to where when we did make a little bit of money, we could handle it, right? And the same thing's true relationally. If I would have met Joe when I was 21 years old, I probably would have lost my wife, right? I would have lost that relationship. But I was 24 and I was a little more mature. Like, you know what I mean? Like, his timing is better than our timing. Please understand, his timing is perfect. Your responsibility is to sow. He will create the harvest. Now, a few more things, then I'll open up to Q&A. Number one, the longest distance between 2 points is what? It's a shortcut, actually. It's actually a shortcut, but there's no shortcuts in success. There's no shortcuts. You can never own success. You've heard that probably 1,000 times. It's only rented, and rents do win every single day. Like in order to have success, you got to pay up every single day. All right, let me give you three things, and then we're done. Number one, we overestimate the event and we underestimate the process. Most people overestimate, the feeling and what they're going to get when they hit director, when they hit executive, when they hit presidential, whatever. But they drastically underestimate the process of what it's going to take to get there. And you know what? Let me tell you what I have found in my life from somebody that has been blessed enough to actually hit those ranks. I will tell you that there is no greater satisfaction than the journey. None. None. I promise you, once you hit director, the feeling is going to fade in a day. When you hit executive, it's going to fade in a day. When you hit senior or when you hit presidential, it's going to fade in a day. That's not where you're going to find your joy and fulfillment in this business. You're going to find it in the journey. I promise. I promise. I mean, some of the greatest highs in my life I can think about through all of the different stages in life. Like they were great and they were awesome. But with the exception of getting married, with the exception of my kids being born, with the exception of, receiving the Lord, it's always been about the journey. The journey has always been better than actually the destination. And that's true here. Number two, we get tired of the fight. Margaret Thatcher says you may have to fight a battle more than once to win it. I think sometimes in our life we expect more from winning a battle one time, and I don't think that's life. I just don't. I mean, Joe, if Joe was sitting here, she would say the same thing. Like, there's things in our marriage that we've had to fight for 17 years, and we're like, shouldn't we have conquered this by now? Like, why does this still keep coming up? Sometimes I think we have to fight a battle more than once. I think that's life, guys. That's this business. Once you hit director, maybe you don't re-rank. You're like, well, I already no. Well, hey, you got to fight it again. Like it's okay. It's okay, right? And then number three is we fail to change. I already told you this, but what got you where you are won't keep you where you are. Like you have to adapt, you have to evolve, and you have to change. And so, I think there's a big difference between a mindset of as Maxwell calls, a player and a pretender. And I think those are eight really good points as to the difference between them. And so, would love to hear from some of you guys. We have a few minutes here before we're going to do the op call. So, please let's talk now. Let's communicate. Somebody unmute and just share.
Just want to say, so, man, Mr. That's it.
Jonah, I appreciate you, brother. Hey, so you cut in and out. We didn't hear anything, but you said something.
I'm learning that my headset doesn't work here in Florida, but all I said was Kyle's back. Thank God for that. I missed your trainings. That's what I said.
Man, that's very kind of you. I appreciate that. Well. trying to be a good steward of what Lord's given me. Hey, you know what? Let me just go ahead and announce this right now. Starting next Wednesday, we're getting back to our mindset calls, and we're going to do them again 12:30 Eastern. This is around lunchtime, guys. This is 12:30 Eastern and 11:30 a.m. Central. We're going to do a 20 to 30 minute mindset call every single Wednesday that I'm going to lead because it's just we need it. We need it. I need it more than anybody, but we need it, right? So thanks, Jonah. You're very kind. Who else, guys?
Kyle, I think you went from 4 to 7
Okay.
on your points.
Yes, I did. Hey, you ready for this?
And I know the other ones are really good.
I missed an entire page. All right,
Um,
I'm going to give them to you real quick, but I'm not going to explain them, just so you have them on
okay.
your notes. You ready?
Okay. Thank you.
All right, I gave you, all right, one, two, I gave you three. Number four is actually players can deliver the goods, pretenders promise the goods. Players deliver, pretenders promise. That's so funny. Oh, this is a big one. You ready for this one? Number five, players love to see others succeed. Pretenders are only interested in their own success. The moment that you get to a place in this business where genuinely in your heart of hearts, you are more satisfied and fueled by other people succeeding than you, I think is really the moment that you win, to be honest with you. That's really when everything changes. Number six, and this is the only one I think I missed, the only other one. Players value integrity, pretenders value image. Players value integrity, pretenders value image. And Chad, I'm gonna go right to you. You're still muted.
Oh, there you are.
There you
Okay.
are.
Good to see you back or good to see me back. One of the two.
There
Haven't
you go.
seen you in a while. Yeah. So anyway, hey, this is a good call, and I'm just going to share a little bit about our story recently. We jumped into this business about a year, November of 24. Believe it, yeah, November 24 it was on the cusp of building a new house, on the finish of me having prostate surgery, and all that's behind us now. And we built up very fast, made it to director, made it to Punamita, and then got back from Punamita. And I think this is classic in network marketing. And I think this is where mindset and long term attitude comes in, is because it all fell apart.
Mhm.
Went from 82 people to 40. Just like, the patch don't work. I'm allergic to the Band-Aid. Just all the negativity. And I think in that part, because I've been in sales all my life and I was in New Skin for quite a while, I think in that part is where people who don't understand what they have in their hand is where the mindset eats them alive, and that's where they bail out.
That's good.
And and I think with the compensation plan changing, the adjustments they're made, but I've shifted the whole mind focus into forget the brand partner thing unless they really express it. It's all about customers, and our income is already growing just based on customer acquisition now. And it's so much easier because you sign them up, Preferred Plus, you're making up to $40 and you call them every now and then. You don't have to worry about building a downline until they show
So
interest to
good.
go. So I think that mind shift, I think a lot of people, um, is there. When I went to Steve and Gina's Orlando event this past weekend, just because I haven't been in a live event in a while, just to see. And there was 150 people there. That was it. And Steve made the comment, guys, this is it. This is Orlando plus, and half the room was from out of state, out of country, out of area. So I think the idea with the mindset is this thing is still so dang wide open, and I think people's expectations are a little bit unrealistic. And I think this is a great reset period for the company.
So good. Man, see, but you have the mindset of a player. You always have. That's why I like talking to you.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
That's good.
So
That's a good
anyway,
word. That's a good word.
that's my point of view.
It's a good word. I appreciate that. And
Yeah, no
hey,
problem.
you know what? Like even, I mean, you talk comp plan, you can talk different patches. I mean, whatever you want to talk about. At the end of the day, we can control what we can control. We
That's
will
it.
never be able to
That's
control
it.
the comp plan. We're not controlling what country we
No.
are. We can control the controllables. And I think, man, you was talking about misery in life. Start trying to control things you can't control.
Yep. Yep. And worrying about other people and
Yeah.
worrying about trying to control them. And, why aren't you, some of the people that I recruited that I thought would be some of the best, better than me, they're in sales like I am, and they just suck at it. I'm just like, I'm like, come on. I said, I said, you've had more rejection I've ever had in a lifetime. And you're upset about a little, $99 a month patch because someone told you it made them, it made their, give them a headache or something. I'm like, come on,
So
man.
good.
Seriously?
So good.
Grow up. So
I
anyway,
appreciate you. Thank you, Chad.
yeah, no problem.
We had a girl that we signed up that was like the top medical sales rep, according to her, I guess, like ever in the history of medical sales. I don't know. And she's like, "You've never seen nothing. Yeah, you haven't." And I'm like, "Okay, like this is great. Well, we've been doing this a little while, right?" So I'm like, I'll believe it after you achieve it, not before." She couldn't sign up a person. But you know what? This is what I realized about her. All she cared about was, guess what? Being a player. It was about her image. It was about her rank, her title, and people could like literally sense that. It had nothing to do with the people that she was calling to try to introduce to a great technology that could help them. So yeah, being a pretender. That's right. So so good. Anybody else? We got time for one more if anybody wants to share. Okay. Well, I'll leave you with this quote. The purpose of life is not to win. The purpose of life is to grow and to share. When you come to look back on all that you have done in your life, you'll get more satisfaction from the pleasure that you have brought into other people's lives than you will from the times that you outdid and defeated them. Rabbi Harold Kusher was so good. You know what's wild actually is and we're about to do the op call, but my daughter got asked to go to a concert last night by a good friend of hers. Well, the good friend of hers, her parents, their dog ran away and it was like a crisis. And so they were looking for their dog and I called them and I said, "Hey, let me take the girls to the concert." Like, no big deal. And so I took them. And we were so busy with this girl that we had into town trying to get all this work done. And I'm like, I can't believe I have to go to this concert. Like, I have so much work to do. But I go, and it was a guy by the name of Max McNown. I don't know if you know him or not. He's a country artist, but he's also like not country. And it was awesome. It was awesome. It was for me. I was supposed to be there. And one of the songs that he sang was a song called 97. And 97 was a song that he wrote about his great grandpa when he turned 97 and the impact that he had on his life and the legacy that he left. And his whole song is about talking about how he wants to be half the man that his grandpa is at 97. So like his great grandkids are like, if I could just be half the man. Anyways, it just reminded me of like again, it's not about inheritance, what you leave to somebody. It's about legacy, what you leave in somebody. That's what life's about. And his song really summed that up. So it was great and it was good for me. Okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna go off camera for 1 minute. I gotta walk out here and talk to my daughter real quick for 1 minute. I'm gonna come back. We're gonna do the op call. Sound good?